The moment you leave your family's home is the day you become a man. Bam. Responsibility, the day where you have to take care of yourself and perhaps others. Whether you're in university or out renting on your own, it changes. You have to take care of yourself, work a job, or manage your money. It's the most important thing, the next important step in life. Once you have solitary, no more free food, meals, no more allowance, no more things being bought for you. It's the pat on the shoulder from your dad or mother telling you, man, you've grown up. And now you gotta live in the real world. You pay for rent, groceries, you get your balance and then you watch it go out the window. The unfortunate truth that no one tells you once you finish education. A lot of people lose their inner child. They become stale and unhappy. And the joy that they used to have just no longer exists. It's important to keep that inner child of you, to pursue your passions, your interests, to stay positive with your friends whenever you're with them, rather than just become hollowed out and empty on the inside. It's all about having the emotional maturity and staying positive where it counts. Being kind-hearted, helpful, and not just working a job, coming home, paying the bills, and then recycling that experience. It's very easy to stay in this loop. That's why you gotta have plans, you gotta have passion, you gotta have dreams, and you gotta pursue them. Otherwise, you're just stagnant. You're just in the same cycle. So look out for characters for reference, whether they're fictional or real. Try and imitate what they'll do in that situation, whether it's a divine being, an action character, like whoever it is, you're a family member, a relative that you look up towards. Always remember the type of man you want to be. Whenever I do closing shifts at a coffee shop, and I always feel down and miserable, there'd be this one guy that would come in, and he just started talking to me. And it wasn't busy, luckily, that one closing shift. And I was like, oh, why not? Let me just start talking back to him. As I kept talking to him, he just kept saying all the struggles of being a man and how it's part of the journey. When he said journey, he looked at me, he was like, the journey. Like it's this grand plan that all of us go through, where it's like struggle and pain and teachable moments in life that we all have a complete relatable experience with when he references the journey. And whenever he said that, whenever he'd come in and say it's part of the journey, I'd always think, yeah, it's part of the journey. And everything's done with reason, not just out of spite. And even if it is done out of spite, it is part of the journey nonetheless. You just gotta take the L's and stay kind-hearted, respectable to others, so that the energy you give out, someone will give to you. It's all an exchange. If you're an ass, you will be treated like an ass later on. If you have a dream and a plan of going somewhere, moving somewhere, let's just say it's another country, do the research for it now, that you still have time. Find out the requirements, the documentation, what you need to do, where you need to go. If you need a job for it, start applying for it. Have a look in the area you want to live. Do it now. Get it over and done with. Because if you do it later, you're going to be older and it's going to be harder to maybe learn that language, or for someone to take you on because you're old. So do it. if you are going to take a long time, you need to prepare for it. Build up your money so that when you move, you can handle the expenses. If you aren't able to find a job, build new skills that you can apply to that country, whether it's blue collar work, getting your hands dirty, doing installations, helping with labor, or working in like the hospitality industry. Build skill sets so that when you do move, you're prepared for it, and that you don't suffer while you're there and you have to, worst case scenario, move back. Do that, or learn something what makes you hireable. Just, if you're taking the long route, be ready for the long route. If it's the short route, be ready for the short route. Make a plan and stick to it. Don't dilly-dally. If you come across problems, it's okay. It's a hurdle. You're going to get through it. You're going to get over it. Just keep pushing and keep trying, and don't give up. That's how you should be moving in your early 20s. That's how you should carry yourself. Having a plan and sticking to it. And if things develop along the way, the plan changes, of course, but you have a goal in mind. You keep pursuing like a tip of a spear. You keep diving forward, charging forward.
Trial and error. That's the summary of your 20s. Going through thick and thin and finding out what works for you and then pursuing that. You gotta be like a helldiver. You drop in, do your mission, and if you die, you respawn. You keep trying until the mission's completed. And even until the very end when you run out of lives. That's how you gotta be, and that's how you gotta move in this day and age. Because the world, it's gotten harder, but also it's gotten a lot easier. When I first started at the big coffee shop chain that I work at, I know I wanted to progress, to earn more, so that I can save more. So what did I do? I did not engage in any gossip. I did not mingle with any co-workers. I just replied simply, did my job, and then went home. And then over the course of time, I was friendly with everyone. And then eventually I got promoted. And then I went from being behind the bar to managing the stock, back of house. And it was the best thing ever. One easy method to progress in any industry is to show up on time or earlier. This is the biggest advantage ever, because everyone in Gen Z generation don't want to work, and they show up late and they're lazy. I saw this through working at various coffee shop chains, and how my generation do not want to work, and they will show up late and not want to progress. If you start by doing this, you're ahead of the game by default. Even the upper management don't show up on time, and it's crazy. But if you keep doing this and show that you're a hard worker, even they will realize this and want to try and improve or even promote you, so that when they leave, you're the perfect replacement. Track your travel time to work. For me, it's about 40 minutes. I always leave with an hour gap, so that if any delays happen, I have that 20-minute coverage. And I always arrive early because of this. And if there are any delays, I arrive on time. You just have to think to yourself, oh, it's an hour, not 40 minutes. And then by default, whenever you get ready, you're always arriving on time. So take this into account, rather than maximizing and squeezing it to the last minute. You're causing yourself to be late in the future. So don't do this to yourself. I know it could be annoying, but it's to create a good impression, and it's to maintain standards. All these little things, it's so that you become responsible. It's so that you understand how to manage your time and how to be on time for events and things. If you don't, you will just slowly lose it, and you'll lose the drive to work, lose the drive to progress. Even in the horrible jobs like hospitality, you have to be responsible for your finances. And that's not buying snacks, buying clothes, buying toys, buying games, buying anything you see that does not benefit you. You need to prioritize your emergency savings, buying into index funds just a little bit, and meal prepping instead, or cooking at home rather than buying meals and takeaway. And you need to think about how many holidays do you want to have, instead of either just working and never going on holiday or always paying for those expensive holidays. You need to find the middle ground and ask yourself, what is the right approach? How can I manage my time and my life and maximize my happiness while also being responsible? This is the way, I think, of being responsible in your 20s, rather than just blowing it all into the big trip in 2026 or 2027. If you plan on a big trip, then work towards it. Have a goal in mind and target it, rather than using the money you only have to that trip. Make sure you're prepared for it. No one at your age is going to know what to do, because everyone is trying to figure it out. However, seeing this, listening to this, understanding this, it will be a huge advantage for you, while everyone else is blind and doesn't understand that you need to save, budget, and plan for the foreseeable future. And I don't mean plan 70 years ahead to the point of every single day and month. I mean safely planning, leaving room for you to budget and ask yourself, okay, I'm going to be working this amount of time in this crappy job or good job. I need to put this amount aside every month so that I am able to do the trips with your friends and your family when the time does come, and they're not paying for you, you're paying for them and you're helping them. You could have the crappiest job ever. You could stay stuck in a coffee shop like I am and budget your money well, and you can have someone in finance that's your best friend, and they won't save a dime. And then when it comes to trips and budgeting and spending something on something reasonable, and they don't have enough, you can cover for them. They'll be like, what the hell? How the hell can you afford this? And you just say, well, I'm being responsible, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day, at the end of your life. And the next stage after mastering being responsible, you need to know when to have fun. You need to know how to live your life. And it's all a big balance at the end of the day. But yeah, thanks for watching.